Then after announcing all this news, Richard posts this. He says, if I were streaming video right now, which I am not, he says streaming video. Okay, so we're going to have to pick this apart because people have run away with what they think this says. But he says, which I'm not, and won't be till I've written some pages of text I've been putting off, maybe a day or two. What are these burning questions you have? So, of course, people will ask their questions. Do you think he means doing a live stream? Because I could see him just putting together a pre-recorded video, which I'm totally fine with. It's cool with me, based on answering people's questions. But everybody is running with this is definitely going to be a live stream. I don't know if you have thoughts on that.
Well, I didn't think about it when he said that. If I were streaming video, I immediately assumed it would be a live stream. But now that you say that, it doesn't say if I were live streaming. Yeah. And won't be until. So, yeah, I mean, streaming a video just means putting a video out. It doesn't say anything about a live stream. So, who knows? I don't know. And I honestly don't care. I think we just kind of really want to hear from him and some of his thoughts and get some things out there. He's been very interactive lately, which is good. Mm-hmm. He's been talking and communicating back and forth with people. And, there for a while, I heard some people mention how they thought his account was hacked, and be very careful. I've heard that whole scenario too.
Proof of what?
Prove it. Like this, some weird things going on with Richard's account. And I think he's been hacked, and they killed him and replaced him with somebody else or something. Like I heard that too. And, all kind of funny things that, now they're just trying to steal your money. It would be good. It'd be good to hear from him. People want to hear from him. And hopefully that there's a lot of questions out there, and there are some good ones in this thread, that bring up some good points. And, I'm curious to hear some of the answers. Hopefully he does get them. But he said that he needs to write some pages of text. So
that makes me think it'll be pre-recorded, kind of. But go ahead.
Yeah. But Richard always has followed a lot of the same talking points in a lot of his videos. He goes through very, very similar talking points, and I think that was my first thought is I need to get the things that I want to bring up down and on paper. The dude's a genius. He probably writes it down once and remembers it. So, I really just think that that's what he's talking about, or what he's referring to, is the talking points. What do I want to say? What do I want to get out there? What is on a lot of people's minds that I can answer? Obviously there won't be anything about the what he wouldn't talk about before, but that type of thing. I'm excited, but a day or two, that's pretty exciting in my opinion.
Yeah. That's the only part that seems kind of definitive. I would have kind of be expecting it to happen by Friday morning. Yeah, extremely bullish. I mean, and it is good that he is coming out with a video, because that was one of the main things when he announced all this stuff, so much news in such a short period of time. People were like, you're not even going to live stream about this or tell us more about it. People have questions. Well, that's good of him, I think, to realize the, not necessarily need, but that it is pretty good, and enforces, drives a lot of confidence to whenever you have him come out on video and talk about it a little bit, I think,
Yep.
Especially when he did it so much with Hex. I mean, and Pulse Chain, people had so many questions about how things were going to work, and there's plenty of video of him out there discussing all of that. So, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I mean, I'm more interested in his thoughts about the macro market right now than any of this stuff, quite frankly. I don't know if he'll go down that road or not, but I'm excited to hear from him. Did any comments or questions catch your eye in that thread? Or
this first one from Tagame Rosecraft, he was a very big investor of Hex, been around for a while. At least a shark, if not a whale position. Anyway. The very first question, is ProveX, not the token itself, already a finished and working product? If not, how long until market? Understandably, software is hard. You know, the famous last words, software is hard. So, yeah. But anyway, that was one of the big questions. You know, and then you see this thing with ProveX launch underway. How will you address community doubts and rebuild trust after major PulseX sacrificer wallets, which to date suffered heavy losses? Well, again, this is a completely different scenario. And I think he may talk about that. You know, I think he might mention the fact that there were so many paper gains that were not liquid. There was also that leads me to one of his other posts where he said about somebody wanting to buy something. Somebody had something, 1 million of something for sale, but they wanted to get it on the market OTC. But the person buying it probably wanted a good deal. Do you remember that post at all?
I don't know.
That one?
Not really, honestly. It's been a whirlwind.
It made me think of, okay, the people that got the good deal on the Pulse and Pulse X, because the market was not as liquid as what the deal that they got for doing the sacrifice was. You know, this comment led me to believe that, to understand that, why are they not understanding the reason that the heavy losses happened was because people got way too many tokens.
Right.
You know, you're talking billions of tokens out there floating around for people that had kind of not fake gains, but paper gains anyway. The market was not as liquid as people's wallets said they were. So,
right. Yeah. I am. I'm very excited to see what he has to say. You know, I'm sure there'll be some attitude behind it. It'll be interesting to see how he's feeling and how he's doing, what he's thinking about all this stuff. But I come out on this. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There was nothing about this that I have felt really that negative about. And it's not because I'm a blind Richard Hart Kool-Aid drinker. The only thing I feel negative about is why Ethereum hasn't pumped and why, you know, the macro situation isn't getting our prices higher. That's really all I care about. I mean, look, we figured there was some plan at the end of this bull market, if it ever started, where Richard would do this. Most people thought that. Was it going to be a wallet?
Well, that's what we thought.
Yeah, exactly. The wallet. You know, nobody had this product really in mind, but you could conceive like there is going to be something where Richard is going to make another creation that he values, you know, get people to put their money up and stuff like that and continue doing this. Jexa made a magnificent video. I sent you guys the other day. You may not have seen it. It's like 12 minutes long.
I watched
He made a video. Oh, you did? Okay. But kind of describing that cycle like over and over of doing things like that. So we all thought that this was coming. We just thought that it would be like, oh, wow, we're all rich. And then, you know, instead it's the inverse. But he's a businessman. He has to make the plays that he sees. That's why I'm so interested in what he thinks of the macro situation and what he thinks is going to happen with Ethereum, because I don't think he ever thought he'd be doing this still down here price-wise. You know what I mean? So I wonder I'm just curious, like what kind of audibles that he's had to call or how he, you know, changed the way that he's doing things to adapt to what's going on in the market. That's all.
Yep.
So
yep.
Good
Completely
stuff.
Agree. I am excited to hear his thoughts, if he gives any, on where we're at in the cycle, what he thinks is still possible. And again, he's made it clear that I don't really care about the whole market. I care about the market cycle. I care about our season. Yeah. So, you know, he's already kind of said that, but I am anxious to hear what he thinks. You know, he's usually pretty close.
Yeah. Well, this has been a fun stream. I'm glad we got to attack that from pretty much every angle we wanted to. Let us know, guys. Will you be, if you're watching this on the back end or in the live chat now, let us know if you are planning on sacrificing for this. Got a long way to go. I mean, you know, if you want to get the top multiplier, we've got about 3 weeks still left, 2 to 3 weeks to do that. So there is still time. We'll see how this kind of all fleshes out, see what Richard has to say. But Great stream, great energy in the chat. A lot of you guys here tonight. Please do subscribe to the channel if you appreciate Pulse Chain content to support Pulse Chain. We appreciate you being here. We do this every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, DJ Moonboy, thanks for the super chat tonight. Philly, Valiant Low Key, Ren. I don't know how to say that. There's too many people to count tonight. So I appreciate all of you guys being here. We'll be here next week, same time, same channel. So for Crypto Ewok, Hex Girl, good for you. Throwing a couple hundred in. Digital Money Market. See you guys. For Crypto Ewok, this has been Big Boy Crypto on the Creed of Crypto. See you guys.
See ya.